Okay guys, so this is part 5 of the 9.3x62 classic Mauser build. Today I'm going to be installing this recoil pad onto the stock. It's going to be a brief video of me putting this on. I'm kind of just going to go over the high points of how to use this jig in order to put a recoil pad on correctly. And when we get in class on Monday, we will go over a lecture on installing a recoil pad and the different types of recoil pads and the different ways you can put a recoil pad on. A jig is not the only way to do it. It's the way I prefer to do it, but there's a lot of other people who don't want to do it that way. We'll go over all that. But anyway, so this video is just going to be, there's going to be a lot of photos, some video and whatnot, and it's just going to kind of hit the high points of putting on a recoil pad and what you have to do to get it on there correctly, okay? A recoil pad is a very important part of the build because if the recoil pad is not put on correctly, if it's not installed on your stock correctly, it's not good. It's one of the first things your customer is going to see is a crooked recoil pad. So we're going to go over all that today in the video, and then on Monday in lecture we'll cover that a lot more. Okay, so let's get to it. Okay guys, the recoil pad is installed. Red recoil pad, classic pad for a classic rifle build. I had about an hour or so, a little over an hour into this, and I'll get into much more detail in class on Monday. This is just kind of like a general idea of how you put it in, how you use that recoil pad jig, things you kind of do to get it up on your stock. There's still a little bit of work to do to this. I've got like a tiny gap right here, and this happens quite a bit. Even when you sand your pad and your stock flat, you sometimes still get a gap right here. So it's kind of hairline-ish, and when you shine it up to the light, it comes out. But I'll fix that later. I'll come through and I'll put a little, because I still have some sanding to do on that stock right there. So usually what I do when I get these on is I get them on, I get them fitted, I get them final, close to final shape, then I take them off and I go through and I start doing the finishing of the stock. So when I'll come back later and I'll fix that right there. But that's basically what you're looking for when you're doing a recoil pad, okay? So this is our heel line right here, and this is our toe line right here. So what you're trying to get when you put a recoil pad on and put it on correctly is your heel line continues through the pad, the top of the pad, and your toe line continues to the bottom of the pad. You do not want to see your heel line here and your pad go up or go down. The same thing here, especially here on your toe line, when your toe line comes up here and if it kind of goes off at an angle, changes angles. Because what happens is a customer comes out, looks at your rifle, and since those lines, what you're trying to get, whether it's a stainless composite build or a classic build like this, is you're trying to get your lines to all be consistent, everything in a straight line. Okay, so there's no high spots on your stock. We went over that in the video and the shaping. There's no high spots in your stock. Your sights, straight line. Everything is in a straight line. The same thing counts for your recoil pad. So your heel line is a straight line through the pad, and your toe line is a straight line through the pad. So that's what you're looking for when you're going to put a recoil pad on. So short video. We'll get in much more detail on Monday. I'm going to come through here next, and these are the existing military screws. So I'm going to clean those up to, custom level build, straighten those up. And I'll do that in another video. Okay. All right, guys. So that's how you do a recoil pad right there. And we'll get into more detail on Monday in class. All right.